Hoi. Holla.
Oi.
Let me get the Muzak going.
Muzak?
Yeah, the Muzak.
Mozak. Mosaic?
Yes. We're getting the mosaic going. There we go. Throw it at you.
You know, rather than sharking him that whole thing, you should be like Count Saint-Germain.
I don't play that character. What I should do is just change it to a Lupin.
Okay, it's Impy Sharkcane.
Impy Sharkicane.
Yep.
Uh-huh. That's totally what my name is gonna be from now on. Impy Sharkicane.
Yep.
Not a Lupin joke, since we still need to date Lupin?
His route's not for fun. Okay.
True, his route's not till probably next year.
It depends how fast they get to get through.
Victor. Last time was trauma.
Hmm?
Last time was lots of trauma.
This time is trauma.
This game is trauma.
I committed a crime. So I was showing you the thing, calling it, or was I showing it to you, or just I tell you?
You just told me about it, where they were
being called lighthearted.
No, you did send me the content warnings, but I didn't see the one that it's like, no, it's lighthearted.
Oh no, they were quote retweets.
Oh yes, yeah, I didn't look at the quote retweets of it.
Yeah, the quote retweets were all like, this makes it sound so dark. This game isn't this dark. It's upbeat. It's an upbeat and light-hearted game.
Hi, Death.
Hi, Death.
And then last time we heard about Saint-Germain poisoning the well of a village and then strangling everyone else.
About the black plague, which got out anyway.
What'd you say?
Prevent the plague, which then got out anyway.
Because he let one child out because he's like,
oh no, I have feelings. There's a child and I care about them. Oh no. I've committed a crime by not killing this child.
I must now kill everyone and never be close to a single person.
Oh wait, this is the wrong one. This is Guinevere.
Oh, this is Guinevere.
Yeah, just look at the words.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, go Sharky.
Yo, now I have to voice a voice. In the past, I committed a crime. I wasn't able to love the one I was meant to love, and loved another who I was forbidden from loving. That was my crime. My name is Guinevere. I was the wife of King Arthur, who led the Knights of the Round Table and is hailed as a hero in the legends of Britannia. I mean, okay. I kind of figured it was going to be like... Okay.
Arthur Pendragon, a hero who is said to have fought off the Saxons during their invasion of Britannia around the 6th century CE. His name is mentioned in connection with the legends of the Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur, and the Holy Grail. His existence is yet to be proven.
But King Arthur wasn't the one who searched for the Holy Grail. That was Lancelot.
In connection to.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's a vague connection because Knights of the Round Table.
Sorry, they're busy telling you that he might not have even been real.
I mean... It's complicated. Me taking a
Basic
class...
relationship status.
Me taking the class on, like, Arthurian legends is just like, this is complicated.
That's not why there was a whole class on it.
We've read so many, like, super old versions of those legends, and like we lightly touched on the ones that like are the more common ones that like people have heard, and I'm just like, okay. No wonder people like are confused about Excalibur, because there's like 2 different swords and people get them confused. And
No, you can't make the mistake of getting Excalibur instead.
And it was like, I actually forget which one of them. I think it was Excalibur, where it was like, he was unbeatable as long as he had the sheath. The minute he lost that, he was going to lose. And then,
I see.
and then, I am blanking on the name of the traitor knight. But, and then one of them was just like, I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna throw it into the lake. Have fun.
Yeah. Good luck, have fun.
My husband was a great king, worthy of his title of hero, who was celebrated as the greatest of leaders, an ideal king. Of course, as an ideal king's wife, I was expected to be the ideal queen. I never once considered it a burden. I had to support him, standing by his side as he ruled the nation, living alongside him for as long as we both lived. I stayed with Arthur, believing that would be my life. However, thinking back, perhaps the emotion that I felt for him was not love. Arthur was too perfect and noble to be engaged in an ordinary romantic relationship. I think what I felt towards him was not love, but respect and adoration. And that's why I was foolishly attracted to a man who was not my husband. One of the Knights of the Round Table, the man most loyal to the king, Sir Lancelot, the Knight of the Lake. I fell in love with him. And unfortunately, his heart was drawn to mine as well. Our love and deviation was what brought about the war that split the land and the Round Table. Ultimately, our love, it destroyed the nation. In the ensuing war, I lost the husband I should have loved, Arthur. And the man I did love, Lancelot, became the target of many people. In that sense, Saint-Germain and I are similar. We both failed to accomplish something that we should have, and lost so much as a result of it. So they're saying that her crime was loving the quote-unquote wrong man?
And Saint-Germain's crime was not killing a child.
Oh, this
Any further
twisted,
questions?
this twisted organization.
Well, I don't know if it's the idea calls that her crime. It's just she's calling it a crime.
And they took the soul, put it into a moving corpse, and shackling them.
I'll feel the guilt over this for the entire rest of her existence.
Twisted. We both failed to accomplish something that we should have, and lost so much as a result of it.
You know what I have to say to that?
What?
Wonderland.
Maybe that's why we were destined to meet. I had thrown myself off of a cliff, out of the guilt over the crime I had committed. The man appeared before me as I lay dying. Guinevere passed. She lived as queen until a specific incident caused her to join Idea.
A specific incident, which we will not be specifying here.
Which will not be specifying here!
Would you like me to save you?
He wouldn't tell me his name. When I asked, he laughed, saying that names have little meaning.
You need something to call me. I suppose you could say I'm a messenger of fate.
Fate? Are you an angel? Or the devil?
I am human. Sadly, merely a man. Queen Guinevere, you have been selected by Omnibus to become a member of Idea. To be a vessel containing the curse of immortality.
Immortality? I had no interest in such things. My husband was dead, my nation in ruins, and Lancelot had left me. What was the point in living in such a world? I am tired of it all. I just want to die. The man doesn't seem surprised at all and nods in response.
How do these terms sound to you? If you agree to devote yourself to the goal of leading people through history for all time, you shall be granted one wish.
Okay, this is just getting so evil.
Hmm? ...
I have no interest in
Evil?
eternal life.
You're granting wishes.
If I get one wish, I wish for the restoration of honor to the knight who lost his for my sake. Lancelot committed no crime. It is not a crime to love the wife of your master. If any blame is to be cast, then it should be on me for responding to that love. That is how I came to be an apostle of Idea. Omnibus's goal is to lead humanity down the correct path of history. I believed that this would be atonement for having stepped off the path of righteousness. I was given the curse of immortality and a cursed item to bring out my strength.
Cursed arms, the equipment given by Omnibus to Guinevere when she became a member of Idea. The arms consist of a full suit of silver armor that is stronger than it looks and dramatically increases the wearer's strength, along with a double-bladed sword.
Okay, interesting. A cursed suit of armor, which is only ironic after what I did to destroy the Knights of the Round Table. Wearing this, I continue to carry out Omnibus's missions as a member of Idea. When I am engaged on a mission for the sake of history, that is the only time my heart is relieved of the guilt that burns me so. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. There's no use thinking about the past now, as I'll never get back what I've lost. I can never make another mistake again. Isaac's cursed daughter, AC. Reminded of when Saint-Germain fought me in the subterranean hallway. He tried to protect her, and she, in turn, had tried to protect him. For some reason, my sword hesitated. Why? Dot dot dot. I shake my head to clear the memory of from my mind. Whenever humanity deviates from its intended path, the result is always a great disaster. So, how did humanity deviate to, allow the Black Plague?
It wasn't supposed to be. Look, humanity deviated from its intended path by having unhygienic conditions in Europe because then the Europeans spread it to the rest of the world with their
Hmm.
unhygienic practices.
True,
But
true,
like mostly it affected Europe.
true. My task is to kill that girl who could potentially be the key to another such calamity. Even if the girl herself is innocent of any crime. He should be here soon. The sound of approaching footsteps stops. I look towards the sound and smile at the figure before me. You're late. I've been waiting a while. The man standing there is none other than the very one who led me to Idea, a great criminal and supreme traitor, who had already slaughtered 4 Idea apostles. Saint-Germain. Oh man, change in perspective. Oh
Oh
boy.
man.
Oh man.
I feel like this route in particular jumps perspective
Oh
a
yes.
lot.
Oh, it's jumped perspective
'Cause,
quite a bit.
like, AC is not even here for half of it.
Like we had perspectives as just Saint Germain.
Mhm.
We had the one last time of Guinevere and Omnibus.
Mhm.
I mean, the other ones did it a little bit.
I did a little bit. I mean, there's like scene changes and like, oh, here's what's happening in the background. This one is just like it's in the foreground because Saint Germain is not telling us shit.
Yeah,
So we just gotta dive in his brain because he's not telling us shit. There's no time for him to tell us shit. He's got shit to do, like killing 8 more apostles and
a boss.
yeah.
Um,
They're just zooming through. They're like, by the way, Guinevere also traumatized. Saint Germain also traumatized. AC, here's her trauma again. By the way, she might end the world. Whoops.
peace. She stands
They're just
there.
like, go, go, go.
She stands there in the forest as if she had been waiting for me all this time. The strongest of the 13 apostles that make up the forces of Idea. The tragic queen, Guinevere. I've been told you have already killed 4 other apostles before arriving here.
Yes, it was a necessity.
I'm amazed. So many apostles in only a few days. How many thousands of lives have you taken with that sword?
Don't worry, sometimes he takes lives by poisoning the well.
No!
Actually, how does their immortality interact with poison? Because it's like, oh, the body will restore itself.
Yeah,
But
it's
if the
probably
poison is still inside the body,
the body would probably just destroy the poison after a while.
yeah.
Like just
But like, does that take many of the life? Because we know they said, well, it's called immortality, but if they die enough times, they actually are not immortal. They'll die.
yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, oh, how many lives could you take from them by just poisoning them?
How many lives can you take at the center of a Tootsie Pop?
Yeah. Exactly. You must be joking. They were already dead, just like us. Life was something they never had.
Yes, that's right. Our lives ended long ago. Don't you find it funny that the dead guy did living through history? I was hoping to catch her off guard, but she is looking right at me. And is it my turn now?
Yes, you are far stronger than any of the other apostles. Which means, as long as I can defeat you, she won't be in as much danger anymore. That's why I must defeat you before this broken body of mine ceases functioning.
I smile lightly and step forward, but Guinevere narrows her eyes. Are you aware of what you're doing right now? Even if you go on and kill all the apostles, there will be no escaping death for you. You won't even have time to celebrate your victory.
True enough. This victory was never meant for me anyway. And for we apostles of Idea, death is a welcome deliverance, is it not?
You're right, it is. We smile at each other, sardonically. We laugh bitterly for a moment, the hollow laughter of two immortals. Then Guinevere shakes her head. I can't believe that you, the most loyal of them all, have tainted your hands with a betrayal as severe as this.
The difference is, I'm not fighting for the world's future, but for hers.
Ah, Saint-Germain. Just being Judas again.
What?
Nothing.
Are you saying that he was Judas the first time?
No. That would be pretty impressive.
They do actually touch a little bit his backstory. Pre-idea in the fan sequel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently he actually started off as a nameless slave child, and I think it was implying that he was a slave child, like, working on the Tower of Babylon.
Oh?
And then another member of Idea, like, destroyed the tower, and then it's like, you, kid, you want to join Idea?
You've changed. I smile at Guinevere. She looks at me, expressionless. Loving someone you shouldn't only brings about misfortune.
It's not up to you to decide whether I should love her or not. ...
Huh.
Was my response unsatisfactory?
No, I just envy you. I envy you for being able to change. She slowly puts her helmet on, as if doing so would shield her from her own emotions. I can clearly tell that her entire body is charged with power. Aren't you exhausted from your battles with the other apostles? Saint-Germain, how many more lives do you have left?
Who knows? Why don't you see for yourself? Though I will kill you before you can find out.
It seems we have a long battle ahead of us. With those words, they both take up their weapons with the full intention of battling to the death. And a protracted fight begins.
Protractor?
Yeah, a protractor fight begins. Several days before this battle began... ... After my encounter with Saint-Germain at the Tower Bridge, I still can't move after being drugged, so I lean against the handrail of the bridge. All I can do is watch in frustration as the sun rises. By the time I'm finally able to move again, the sun has already pulled itself up from the horizon. Morning has arrived.
In addition to who has not kidnapped AC, we have to add to the list of charges who has not, like, knocked AC out. Just, like, left her knocked out somewhere.
Ooh, yeah, that's a really tough list.
All right, our love interest list is down to 0. 0, actually.
Wait, has Victor?
Hmm?
Has Victor knocked AC out?
I guess he didn't. No, all right. Our love interest
It's
list is down to
Victor.
Victor.
It's literally down to just Victor.
I was counting him as like sort of kidnapped, but he didn't really kidnap
He
her.
wasn't part of the
She
kidnapping.
willingly went with him back to the house.
Yeah.
They accused him of holding her hostage, but he wasn't really actually.
No, he wasn't at all.
All right, our love interest list is down to just Victor.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That seems normal.
Yes, Victor Frankenstein is the only love interest.
Yeah. Saint-Germain, where are you?
I run through the street where people have begun to emerge and call his name. People give me odd looks, but I don't care.
Where are you?
I cling to a sliver of hope that Saint-Germain may be nearby, and I run and run, calling out to him until I am hoarse. Until I am a horse.
She's like, Saint-Germain, Saint-Germain, Saint-Germain through the city. It's like, you know that he is going out to like kill all of the other
Yeah.
apostles
Yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
Why would he still be in London?
But really, I know more than anyone that he wouldn't be here.
Saint-Germain.
My legs get tired and my voice weakens and trails off. Saint-Germain is gone. He left me and went off to fight alone. He said that my smile is what made me happy. He said that he would give his life to protect it. But
And your life won't make me happy at all. There's no way I can smile when you're not here.
I fall to my knees and begin to sob. What could I
You
possibly...
get more weird looks from random people on the streets.
What could I possibly do to save him?
Hey, Kate Steph, are you blocking me from my food again? Is this just your mission in life?
After a while, I stagger back to where we are staying, where Lupin and the others welcome me, but are surprised that I'd left. It seems they'd just realized that I was missing, and were just about to go out into the city to look for me. They all seem relieved to see me in one piece, but they are a bit upset that I took action alone.
Again.
Who knew you were this stupid? I thought you would have learned your lesson about going off on your own. And now this?
Sorry. I'm sure you had a good reason. Either way, can you tell us what happened?
I nod and begin to tell them one thing at a time. I told them about Omnibus and how she spoke to me about the organization called IDEA. I told them about Saint-Germain's true identity. It was no coincidence that all of us had been brought together, but that the Count had set us up so that we would meet. What? Huh? Saint-Germain planned for us all to meet? No way!
That actually makes sense to me. The century's greatest thief, a war hero, a genius engineer, the heir to the vampire throne, and most of all, Isaac Beckford's daughter, carrier of the Horologium. He's not going to mention himself.
I was about to say he doesn't mention himself at all?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, Lupin, Van Helsing, Impy,
Deli.
the potato. Nope, not himself.
And most of all, AC. Not me, though.
Not
I'm
important.
just gonna shut up. There's no way this group would come together naturally. It's all too outlandish to be coincidence.
It all makes sense when you think that the Count was pulling the strings all along, I suppose. I nod at Van Helsing's words, then Victor asks me to continue the story.
Nibus told me that I had to go to Tower Bridge alone if I ever wanted to see Saint-Germain again. I met Saint-Germain there, and we exchanged some words, and I'm just not going to tell you that I went there to die.
Oh no, because you know that... AC knows their reaction would be. It would be strong to the, "You are so stupid."
You are so stupid, we cannot trust you, and we are locking you in your room until you grow a brain.
If I only had a brain.
Hey, we're not playing as Mafia right now. You want to go back to it?
Oh my gosh, we have to finish this game.
I know. Well, technically, we played that one first.
I know! I mean, we do need to go back to it at some point. Then Saint-Germain decided to turn against the idea to protect me. I mean, unless we just decide that we're not going to go back to it at all.
Go through at least more of the routes than just Axel.
As a traitor, Saint-Germain's immortality would be taken away from him. And in the little time that he has left before his demise, he has gone off to fight the rest of Idea's apostles by himself. As I tell them these details, they all remain silent. Van Helsing is the first to speak up once I am done. Now we're all up to speed. It's a lot to think about, but before we give you our opinions, I want to hear what you think about all this. AC, what are you going to do? Take a deep breath and look around at the others. As they stare at me, I press one hand against my chest and speak.
My cursed chest. If I just sit here and wait in silence, there is a chance that Saint-Germain will end it all for me. Idea's apostles may be destroyed, and I may no longer be threatened. But Saint-Germain will definitely die.
I clench my fist so tight that my nails dig into my palms. I don't want the memory of his face, that last smile he showed me, to fade away and be lost forever.
It's like, alright. And which of our love interests does not have a death wish?
Oh, that would bring it down to 0. Well, no, because if you're like trying to find the center that all 3 of them are, it brings it down to 0. Because I mean, Impy doesn't have a death wish.
I'm like, alright. Love interests that do not have a death wish.
Impy doesn't.
Impy and Lupin?
I mean, I don't know about Lupin, but Impy definitely does not have a death wish.
Lupin doesn't have a death wish. He's trying to stop a terrorist plot.
Oh, true. I mean, Victor kind of has a death wish by trying to stop the accusations of terrorism by doing terrorism.
That was incredible.
I mean, Van Helsing just has a death wish, because Van Helsing.
Van Helsing just had a death wish.
Yeah, exactly.
Saint-Germain kind of also just in general has a death wish.
Yeah.
Considering how he just had that conversation with Guinevere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know I'm gonna die. But you know, you're just like me. You understand. We want to die.
And Guinevere's like, yeah, I get that. Mood.
He's like, I mean, mood, but...
But I need to stop you.
I can't accept that. There is no way I can accept that.
Do you have a plan?
Not much, but I'm thinking of meeting directly with Omnibus to talk with her about saving Saint-Germain.
Everyone looks at me with wide eyes. Simply stopping Saint-Germain will still lead to his eventual demise. If I can hope for any good outcome, this is the only way there is. Hold on a second. You make it sound so easy, but is it even possible to negotiate with her? Isn't she like the leader of an organization that's been manipulating the world behind the scenes or something?
It'll probably be more difficult than speaking with Victoria. Yes, if I was on my own, I probably wouldn't even be able to reach Omnibus. That's why I know it's a lot to ask, but I need your help.
Also, I hope everyone's having a good day so far, or a good weekend.
Or a good evening.
Or had a good weekend. If your weekend is over.
Can you help me save Saint-Germain? Please? ...
There is a brief silence. It seems like they are all on the fence about it. No way. I look up at him in surprise at this unexpected rejection from him. Lupin had been quiet all this time, but now he's...
I just spent the last several days trying to stop this motherfucker from killing you, and now you want to save him? I'm supposed to do all these nice things for him? No.
But now he's looking at me suspiciously.
Lupin.
Lupin? Are you serious? She really needs our help. It would be ungentlemanly to refuse. I can't help someone who doesn't trust her friends. Lupin walks towards me with a stern expression. He stops right in front of me and stares into my eyes. AC, why didn't you just tell us everything yesterday?
It's because Omnibus told me not to.
I know that, and I know she has some strange powers. Even if you couldn't tell us straight out, if you just thought logically, you would have found some other way to communicate. If the others had been with me back there, if they'd been with me, I might have been able to stop Saint-Germain. ... I hang my head in shame at this realization.
I'm sorry.
Saint-Germain's not the only one who cares about you. We all do. That's why, if you consider us your friends, you've got to tell us these things.
Yes.
I nod. Then Lupin takes a deep breath and laughs, lightening up. I mean, the only one who's really to blame here is Saint-Germain, who didn't tell us anything. When this is all over, I'm going to punch him. That'll make things even.
Wow. All of this, whole ordeal and everything, kept all these secrets, and he totally manipulated us. I'm gonna punch him.
I'm
That'll even.
gonna punch him. A punch makes everything even.
Uh-huh. Didn't you know?
Did you know?
I suppose.
Lupin's consideration is heartwarming. I do my best to smile, then Victor and the others sigh in relief. I guess it's settled. I'd like to have a word with the Count as well. You have my support.
Oh man. He's gonna survive from all of the fighting and everything.
And then he's just
he's gonna die from being punched by both Lupin and Van Helsing.
Oh, man.
Mostly from Van Helsing. A word, Van Helsing says. No, no, no. We know where your words are. They're in your fists.
No, they're in his guns.
Also there.
A good salt to the chest.
Mm-hmm.
Tenderizing
I'm
Saint-Germain.
hoping too, obviously. What about you, Impy?
Never doubt it. I'll do anything my princess wants. I was about to make a big mistake. I'm not the only one worried about Saint-Germain. Everyone is just as concerned about him.
Thank you, guys.
Warm emotion swells up inside my empty heart. First things first. I guess we'll begin tracking the omnibus's location. Right. AC, why don't you get some rest? I'm sure you're tired. No buts. You're going to be the one speaking with Omnibus or whoever. All our efforts will go to waste if you fail. So just focus all your energy on thinking of ways to save Saint-Germain. He's right. We'll make sure to take you as far as we can to get you there.
All right.
After talking about their next moves, Lupin and the others get to work. I let out a small sigh and then look around me. I catch sight of Deli sitting in a corner of the room.
What's the matter, Deli? You've been so quiet.
Aww, Melik. Sleeping cat.
Hey, Menik.
Hype sleep. Hype sleep.
I feel like those are two contradicting things slightly.
Hyper sleep.
Oh, is that what you do when you pass out for like 10 hours?
10 hours? No. A hyper sleep is at least 12.
Okay, 16 hours.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Nowadays, you still do that, but waking up here and there in between.
Yeah. It's not the consistent 16 hours I used to be able to do.
It's just...
Deli looks at me, apparently undecided about something. Then he looks up at the ceiling and says in a small voice,
You're not bad for a human. I would certainly like to help you if I could.
the only time you can help us is if you have the smile hat, which you don't have!
But I'm sorry. There's something I have to do. It's something you have to do?
I ask him, curious, and he nods curtly.
I was just speaking with Lupin and the others about this. A rumor has it that there are surviving vampires in the northern part of Britain. What? I don't know if it's true. It may just be a false alarm.
Sorry, I had to move the chat box because the badges were off. Or out of the box.
But if it is valid, as the descendant of the Vampire King, I must go see for myself. That is why...
I smile gently as Deli trails off, having some difficulty finding the right words.
I'll be fine. Thank you so much for all your help. Have a safe trip, Deli. I hope we get to meet again when it's all over. I promise I'll return, and Helsing and I have yet to settle our own score as well.
Deli looks at me, then opens his mouth several times in an attempt to say something. He then closes his eyes and speaks quietly.
If you lose hope in humanity, you can come to me. I shall protect you. He's so cute.
He's amazing. I will be right back. I just have to go grab something real quick.
How's everybody doing in the meantime? And is my cat eating at my shower curtain liner again? Mog, Mog. Maybe he's not. Mm. I feel like I should be entertaining you all, but I don't know how to do that. Actually, I guess we haven't gone on that many tangents today yet. Sorry, everyone. I know that's what you really come here for.
What do they come here for?
Tangents. I was saying, oh, I
Ah,
guess we haven't really done many tangents today. Sorry. I know that's what everyone's coming for, actually.
we've gotten into too many cosines and sines. There are.
Cotangents?
No. There are no cotangents. Oh no, a Daily Kingdom Hearts fact. Oh,
They
oh,
waited for you to come back.
oh. Okay. I mean, nice fact for if you don't know. There are three Kingdom Hearts games that have multiplayer in them. Um, the most prominent one was Birth by Sleep, which had a whole arena that you can play on the PSP with the multiplayers. Um, Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 had uh, missions where you could play as every organization member: Sora, Riku, Donald, Goofy, Mickey. And the earliest one was Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, which had a battle system where you could make decks out of the ones you've got in Sora's playthrough and battle against your friends.
Can't decide if I like or hate that.
Well, there was also the Game Boy Advanced version has a card specific to it that is actually for I think it's the Dark Walls um that is used specifically for hiding your deck from opponents, which is used in the multiplayer. But when they ported it to PS2, they had to remove it because the PS2 version doesn't have multiplayer.
Ooh,
There is your Kingdom Hearts fact for the day.
nice fact.
Why did you hate that though?
Huh?
Why why did you say you can't decide if you like or hate that?
Uh, Playing Chain of Memories against your friends.
No. You should hate it because playing Chain of Memories.
Okay, so I should. You're saying like why do you not know if you hate that? You just should hate it.
You just
Is
should
that what
hate
you're
it
saying?
because nobody should play Chain of Memories. Actually, no. Chain of Memories actually has a pretty interesting story. It just the gameplay is not my favorite
I
because,
feel like
well, specifically the Sora playthrough's gameplay is not my favorite because it
I don't
full.
think I ever finished the playthrough of it. I think at some point I looked up like a whole
Mhm.
script and just read the transcript of the whole game instead.
Um, I don't like the Sora gameplay or the Sora side of the gameplay because it relies on building your own deck, which is very RNG dependent on what cards you get and everything like that.
Yeah, that part was kind of frustrating, which is part of why.
Yeah.
Because I give up on games too easily.
The Riku playthrough is a little bit better because it's pre-made decks and the only variables are you get a boss card after you defeat them. So if you change what order you beat bosses, then you might have like a few extra options here or there. But that doesn't change up the battles. Riku's story has, I think Wonderland is disgustingly hard because the deck they give you in Wonderland is basically all like ones, twos, threes. There's like no like seven, eight, nines in it. Um, but the rest of them are pretty nice and easy.
Mm.
I know way too much about Chain of Memories because I've played through it like a dozen times, and I hate that game.
Yeah.
I hate
Oh,
achievement
so you
hunting.
I was gonna say, so you want to explain to the class why you keep doing?
Because I like getting all the achievements in games. And I have the PS3 version, which required you to play through it 6 times, one on each difficulty. And then I have the PS4 version, which only requires you to play through it. If you play through it on a higher difficulty, unlocks the lower one. So you could just do it on the highest difficulty, and you don't have to play it 6 times. You only have to play it twice. So I got really good at playing through the Riku playthrough, and I think I was able to beat Riku's in like 2 to 3 hours.
Wow,
Oh,
that sounds like you.
unlike beginner. I was it like because beginner you don't really need to level up all that much. Like you can kind of just steamroll through on Riku's playthrough. Um and then I had to spend like about a dozen hours trying to get all the cards because there's an achievement for getting one of every card in the Sora playthrough. Yeah, I've played way too much of that game.
For a game that you actively hate.
For a game I actively hate the gameplay of. It it I have a the Nintendo handhelds I have such mixed opinions on for Kingdom Hearts games cuz Chain of Memories on Game Boy Advance, I flip and hate the gameplay of it. Days as one of my favorite stories,
Mhm.
but it's so monotonous on purpose. But it feels like I don't want to play it because of how monotonous it is. Wake up, do a mission, go to sleep. Wake up, do a mission, have ice cream, go to sleep. And that's it for like 15 hours.
Oh God, it's like a real job.
Yeah, it exactly is. They really did like make the feel
When
of
you
doing a
do
9 to 5.
too good of a job
Yeah.
at putting the story into the mechanics.
Yeah, exactly. And so it became a slog and I eventually put it down. I remember I like picked it back up and I was able to beat it in like 2 hours, but I was just so done with it at the time. I'm like, I don't want to go through with this. And then turning shame to immediate achievement pain. Um,
Yes.
and then there's
A good thing that Sharky is playing the Switch version of this game because
oh
this
yeah.
also had achievements when I played it on Vita.
And then there's Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which I loved the gameplay of Recoded. It was so much fun because every world's a different gameplay type. And like it was so varied and it was so fun. But the story is so pointless and it doesn't need to exist.
So the opposite of Jane.
Literally, the 2DS games are opposites. Like it was so bad. But I mean, like, Recoded is a port of a phone game. Like, there really wasn't too much that they were expecting because a phone game that was coming up that was kind of just teaser for Birth by Sleep.
Right, I'll be right back. I gotta get coffee. And also now I suddenly have hiccups.
You know my pain from like a month or two ago.
Uh-huh. But it's not an all-day hiccup, probably.
Oh my gosh, I hated that when I had all
Alright,
day
I'll be back.
hiccups. Yes, y- uh, joining to immediate achievement pain. I have the problem where I like getting all the achievements in video games. So I will like go out of my way to try to um figure out how to get achievements. Um or like, I mean, or look up, like, see, there'll be times where I'll look up a game's, like a quick achievement guide, and, where it will be like, this is recommended how many playthroughs it can be, and I'll go like, let's see, can I reduce that by any number of playthroughs? Because like in Kingdom Hearts 1, in those achievements, it has an achievement for beating the game in under so many hours. I think it's like 12 or 15 or something like that. Beating the game without using the continue option, and beating the game without changing your equipment at all. So you have to be like, you can't eat. People recommend like you can't even go into the equipment screen. You can't change anybody's equipment at all. Um, and so what I decided was like, oh, okay, they're recommending like 5 playthroughs of the game. I'm gonna see if I can do it in just 2. So I did what I call the Kingdom Hearts stupid mode run, where I played it on beginner. I did not change my equipment. I did my best to speedrun as fast as I can, and with no continues. I think I got to the final boss. I was on phase like 4 or 5 of the final boss, and I died, and I'm like, okay, I'll just do a continue. I'll reload the save from before I did that continue, and then I'll just upgrade my equipment, give me some end game equipment, give me some um anything other than the starting stuff, and then I'll just do the final boss again. And I was able to beat the final boss in like 10 minutes. So yeah, I did my stupid mode run, and then after I 100%ed it on beginner, I went through and quick did a proud mode run through to clear out Kingdom Hearts 1. This is what I do, and I have so much fun with it. I have to fight my perfectionism every time I open a game. Oh man. I don't fight it is the thing. I try to get my money's worth out of video games because it's so much fun. Just trying to get everything I can out of a game. Because I mean, like, I'm spending so much money, and then for me, it's just like, how much can I get out of this game? I'm not trying to beat it as quickly as I can, but just how much can I get out of it? Which has given me a lot. I've like gotten all the achievements and slash trophies for like some long RPGs, and I'm like, I got my money's worth out of this. Yeah, there's my Sharky achievement rant thing. Hope you enjoyed. It is so quiet here. Without Satan, without music, there is only quiet. I did very much enjoy it. I enjoyed. Oh, well, thank you. I've always joked about cuz I do my own personal streaming on my own personal Twitch. I've joked about how I should just record myself doing another Kingdom Hearts stupid mode run on for the PC version, and just seeing if I'm able to replicate the shenanigans that I did for that playthrough. Because I know at one point in time, I think the PC version had achievements in it. I don't know if the PC version still have achievements, but I know they did because I 100% in Kingdom Hearts 3 on PC. After, doing it on PS4 because I play Kingdom Hearts too much. But yeah, I've
And
joked.
what did everyone enjoy?
I did my own little talk about achievements, and I talked
Oh,
about Kingdom Hearts stupid mode that I did.
uh,
And I was like, I've joked that I should do that again on stream. You got some coffee?
I got some coffee. I put some honey in it to help try to stop the hiccups. But then my honey is like really solid, so I stood there for a bit, like trying to dissolve it into the coffee. And
Ah.
I think some of it's still like a little blob. I'm also not 100% sure it's actually honey and not agave because it says it's 100% honey on the thing, but it's like, what is it, like cactus blossom honey? Which
Interesting.
apparently is not real honey, is like agave. But basically, I picked it up at the Korean grocery store when my roommate got COVID
Mm.
because we were making tea a bunch, during that.
Yeah.
Um, and so we would mix it with honey. And so she drank through like all of the remaining container of honey that we had.
Wow.
And I mean, I drank the first half of that container, like when I was sick. So
True.
Uh, I'm in no position to judge, but I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll go get more."
Yeah.
And then I got to the Safeway. I got to the section where I had gotten honey before. I looked up, the entire honey section was empty. I was like, "Ah,
Wow.
there's a COVID wave."
Yeah.
The honey was all gone. I was like, "There's definitely a wave of COVID."
Are we ready?
And so, I had gone to the Korean grocery and picked it
Mm.
up from there, but it's, like, very solid honey.
Mm.
It looks very very solid. Not even like crystallized, but just like solid.
Interesting.
And yes, I'm ready.
I'm grateful for everyone's kindness. I watch from the window as they all leave our lodgings, and then slowly shut my eyes. The image of Saint-Germain's face floats into my mind. His face, when he opened up to me about his true feelings and wept. He must have always been crying like that behind his smile. Ever since the incident that caused the Black Plague several hundred years ago. He's been crying, and yet unable to release his tears.
Hold on, Saint Germain. I will save you.
Determined, I start thinking, what do I have that I can use as ammunition when speaking with Omnibus? For several days after that, I have to wait patiently. Lupin left first, saying he had a lead to follow. The others leave afterwards, and soon everyone is running around, investigating Omnibus. Victor is looking for information through a connection to the Royal Society. Van Helsing is looking into traces of idea throughout London's criminal underground. Impy is my bodyguard. He's been saying that if any of the idea apostles who are after me appear, he'll capture and question them, but luckily or unluckily, there's been no sign of the apostles so far.
But Saint Germain is going around killing them all.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a few days after a few days before.
Yes.
So
2 to 4 are dead.
I guess maybe we have gotten back to where we started in the timeline.
As all this has been taking place, I've been racking my brain, trying to think of how I can negotiate with Omnibus. I'll be up against the Guardian of History, who has been controlling the world from behind the scenes for thousands of years.
From beyond the scenes.
From beyond the scenes! I don't think she'll change her ways if I simply ask politely.
Dot.
So far, everything is on Omnibus's court. I don't have a single card to play that I could use to get her to agree with me.
Only there was something.
Ah, don't you have a trap card? Just activate the trap card. Oh, crap! Who are you, Joey? Dated jokes.
Joey, AC. Yeah. No, sorry. If anyone's Joey, it might be MP.
I mean, that is a dated joke, too.
A David joke, according to the captioner.
Yeah, apparently a David joke. Uh-huh. Something that could make Omnibus flinch. Only I had something that I could use against her. That I could use to possibly manipulate her.
Alright, we gotta commit terrorism again.
Even as my mind scrambles to find a solution. The others make no progress with their investigations over the next several days. But even if we do locate Omnibus, I don't have any means to negotiate with her, so there's nothing I can do now anyway.
And now Saint-Germain must be...
I know saying these things won't improve the situation one bit, but I grow restless. Great
song.
Shush it, you.
No.
Shush it, you.
Nah.
But I grow so restless that I can't think straight.
Yeah, because you're ace. E.
Thinking straight. Not AC's strong suit.
It's not any of their strong suit, actually.
I mean, yeah. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door.
Yes? It's me, Victor. Can I come in? Hold on. Victor, you don't look so well. Are you all right? Mm-hmm. Don't worry. I just haven't been getting much sleep.
As Victor enters the bedroom, I notice dark circles under his eyes. I can see at a glance that he's been working nonstop for the past few days.
So, what is it? Did you find something while you were investigating? Unfortunately, no. But there's something I wanted you to hear.
As he says this, he takes something familiar out of his pocket. A beautiful pendant in a glass case.
Is that Finis's pendant? Yes. I was looking into this little by little whenever I could find the time. Basically, it seems that my theory was correct. That this pendant and the horologium are connected? Yes. This is unmistakably a key item that can transform the horologium into the Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone?
I remember when I picked up this pendant in the underground facility. The sensation I felt. Like the horologium had been pulsating. It didn't amount to much, as Victor had intervened, but just thinking about it frightens me.
As I explained then, once the Philosopher's Stone is completed, your poison will run out of control. So, to avoid any accidents, what we really should do is dispose of this pendant.
He shakes his head as he says this, then tucks the pendant into his shirt. Right when he does this, I stop him, calling out.
Wait, Victor. If that pendant is brought close to me, my horologium will turn into a Philosopher's Stone? Well, theoretically. Then, Victor, can I borrow that pendant?
What? AC, this isn't the trap card that you should have played down.
On a Philosopher's Stone? Haven't you seen any piece of media ever?
Full Metal Alchemists.
Oh no. Not again.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, that is the first thing I think of with the Philosopher's
Oh,
Stone
yeah.
every time.
Honestly, same
Every
at this
time.
point.
Borrow? What do you want it for?
Oh, man, I should watch that again at some point.
I might be able to use it in speaking with Omnibus.
That'd be a good cry.
Yeah?
It would be a good cry.
Uh-huh.
His face grows tense in an instant. He shakes his head with a stern look, having obviously guessed my intentions.
Planning to do what I think you're planning to do. There's no way I could agree to that. It's too dangerous. But I won't be able to save Saint-Germain unless I have that kind of result.
Same. I need to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, a rewatch of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood in my future. Yes.
Meaning to watch as well.
Oh, it is good. It is good. I mean,
I just need to. I feel like I watched Brotherhood, but I have like no memory of watching Brotherhood.
the problem is the like perfect, like it is weird in the beginning because it it deviated from the source material for like the first 5 episodes or so, because it was like it was either deviate and create something a little bit different, or we're basically doing the same like beginning as the first Full Metal Alchemist series.
Yeah, I heard they crammed in a lot at the beginning.
Yeah, they like skipped over the whole mining town incident, and when that character shows up again, they're just like, "Who are you? Oh, I'm from this
Yeah.
incident." Who?
Yeah, I mean, I have a special place in my heart for the original anime,
It like
and I will fight anybody.
like the perfect watching is basically you watch the original up until the point when they start looking into like the warehouse, I think, and then you switch over to Brotherhood and watch it to the end, and that's like
No.
basically a 1-to-1 from the manga.
Well, yes. Or if you're trying to get 1-to-1 from the manga,
Yeah.
my thing is that just because it doesn't follow the manga does not mean that the original anime
Oh,
is
no.
inherently bad or
Oh,
worse.
no, it's not.
Because that's the thing that drives me nuts.
I mean,
I'm like, the original anime is good. It's not trying to be the manga.
No,
They had an agreement from early on. They're not trying to be the manga, so they don't have to worry about like, oh, we have to stick in filler while the manga catches up, like a bunch of other series.
no,
did.
they're like, just wrap it up. Just go for it. Have fun.
I need to again experience the irony of having gender envy for envy. You know what? You know what? Yeah.
Envy. No, but that's also the problem that a lot of anime have, is they're just like, we need to stick in 30 episodes of filler until we have enough
So that the
material.
manga can like get ahead again.
Yeah.
Because we don't. Yeah. FMA just made the decision early on, like, all right, we're just gonna do our own thing at this point, and that gave them the freedom to like plot out their own pacing and story and everything. So I feel like it's still its own, you know, complete and good story.
Oh yeah.
And it frustrates me that people are like, oh my god, Brotherhood is so good because it follows the manga, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't inherently make it better.
No. I mean, I personally do like Brotherhood more, but again, that's personal taste. I'm not saying the original's bad.
That's fine. That's fine. It's just when people say that Brotherhood is so much better than the original because it follows the manga, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
I mean, the original did its own thing, and it did it very interestingly.
Anyway, I read this line a while ago.
I know. We were having a discussion.
Yeah?
Yeah!
Then why do you always yell at me? Like, I read this a while ago. I'm like, we're talking! Are you looking at a lot of memes or something?
Ah, yes, Sharky, the known memester.
Yep.
I am
meme.
just chock full of memes.
Yep.
I have so many memes, I don't know what to do with them. I am just a bundle of memes.
Uh-huh.
That last one makes it sound like I either have many memes or I am just a giant meme myself. And I don't know which
Probably
one.
the latter.
I'm not a meme.
We'll make you one. Don't worry.
How can you make me a meme?
Yes.
That's not how memes work. You can't force a meme.
The number of times that I saw on Tumblr, like, can we make this a meme? And then it became a meme.
Okay, that's Tumblr. Tumblr doesn't operate on normal logic.
That's correct. That is 100% correct. Tumblr does not operate on normal logic.
Tumblr operates on Tumblr logic, which is just like, we're gonna do what we want because we want.
All memes squished into one big meme.
But I don't know any...
How did the captioner turn Tumblr into Icarus?
Wait, what?
Icarus does not operate on normal logic.
I mean, that is true. Icarus didn't operate on normal logic. And how did the captioner turn Icarus into a Christian?
That I can see better than from Tumblr to Icarus.
That's true.
Hot takes from the captioner.
I mean, Christians also don't operate on normal logic.
They operate on the Bible over logic, isn't it?
But how can I be all memes squashed into one if I don't know memes?
Well, are memes necessarily self-aware? Please, Vector. Let me have the pendant.
I can use this pendant and myself as my trump card in my discussion with Omnibus.
Your trap card.
My trap card. I play my trap card. I become a Philosopher's Stone.
Yup.
The method I'm thinking of is definitely a dangerous one. One mistake could lead to a catastrophe. Knowing no memes could itself be a meme. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it's not that I know no memes. I know very few. And I think all the memes I know are pretty old at this point.
Yeah. Dot.
You know, that classic new meme, all your base. That's so new, right? That was within the last few months, right?
And Leroy Jenkins?
Oh man, Leroy Jenkins. Oh.
Very new.
Very new.
Dot.
Victor looks down at the pendant with a bitter expression. Perhaps because he knows what I'm thinking as well.
You would go that far to save the Count?
Count Von Count?
Yes. He counts all the lives he's killed.
Oof. 1 life, a 2 life, 3 life, 4 life.
Entire village of life?
Mwahahaha.
Well, if you're going to 4, you should be counting the apostles he's killed. Which he also killed one in the backstory part of the epilogue
really?
thing. Yeah. They had that before Isaac and everyone. There was another like father of alchemy guy who very possibly basically figured out the Philosopher's Stone and seemingly never actually implemented it, but like put the entire solution, it's the poison and everything, on like carved into an emerald tablet.
Makes sense.
And he was actually the apostle that brought Saint-Germain as a nameless slave child before he was the Count into Idea, and apparently gave the name. But because he was pursuing this like research, then even as an apostle himself, then he gets targeted by Omnibus. Like, You can't
You can't
do
do
that.
this. This is a no-no.
You stop that. And he is like, I'm not going to respond to my summonses. And
Ruh-roh.
then Saint-Germain's like,
Lol, you dead.
you know why I'm here. Like, could you just like stop? And he's like, well, I'd like to, as nice as it would be to die at the hands of like a beautiful lady like Guinevere, I would prefer to go by the hands of a friend. And Saint-Germain's just like, bitch, you call me a friend? You have dragged me here. I have been forced to come here to kill you as the one who brought me into Idea. And you're still calling me a friend? He's like, yeah.
Best
And
friend.
Saint-Germain is just like, sigh.
Best,
Alright, let's get this over with.
Best friend.
Best friends. It's interesting because I think that ending seems to be the only one that has a different solution to her poison than every other case. Saint-Germain risked his life to save me. And he's probably risking his life at this very moment. ... That's why it's my turn. It's my turn to risk my life to save him.
The long drawn-out silence is a direct reflection of Victor's indecision. But eventually, he silently nods, giving in.
Fine. But can you give me some time? I'll prepare a case for you so that you can carry this around. Thank you. That would be helpful.
Just as I sigh in relief, there's a rough knock on the door.
Who is it?
It's me, Lupin. I found it. Idea's headquarters. I haven't seen him around for the past few days. It looks like he'd gone all the way to my old home in Wales. I figured from the way Phineas was talking that Isaac must have known something about Idea. And I was right. I found this at the old mansion. Lupin presents us with a slightly worn leather-bound notebook. Most of the letters written in it seem to be gibberish, but the writing itself looks familiar.
Is this Father's handwriting?
Meaning that these are his handwritten notes. Yup. It looks like these are his notes regarding his research into Idea.
His handwritten notes, as opposed to the typing that they could definitely do back in this age.
Oh, of course, of course. He encrypted it, and it took me a while to decode, but it says where Idea's base of operations is. Lupin spreads out his translation of the book in front of us, and we all look at them.
In Western Britain, in the depths of the forest of those on Earth refer to as the Forest of Fog.
Right.
Because we had to conveniently say that this is actually all in Britain, because we can't send them on an international adventure right now, even though it makes no fucking sense why they would be based in Britain of all places.
Because that requires more assets.
I mean, it still requires assets. It's writing wise, they'd have to like figure out international travel then.
That's where Idea's headquarters are, I'm 99% sure.
That's what Omnibus is.
AC. It's a good thing that we found Idea's location, but are you ready? Yeah, I mean, it's ultimately up to you whether or not your negotiation will work.
Not totally confident, but I have a plan for our discussion.
I explain the details of the plan I come up with. The reactions are the same as Victor's. The more I explain, the sterner their faces grow. Using your own life as a bargaining chip? Are you serious? I can't support this. It's too dangerous for you. Lupin is especially against the idea. But...
Please, there's really no other way.
in any case, there isn't enough time left for us to explore another option. In the end, everyone reluctantly agrees to cooperate. ... A few hours later, after some preparations, we all leave our lodgings, heading towards the headquarters of IDEA. Perhaps it's because we decided to board at the last minute? We have to sit apart from one another on the train on our way to our destination. Lupin is the only one seated next to me. As I let the train's motion rock me gently, I think about what's to come.
At that.
I'm going to speak with Omnibus in order to preserve Saint-Germain's life. I have no idea if anything will go according to my plan. But I know for certain that my life will be at risk during this negotiation. Even worse, there's no guarantee that I will be coming back to the others.
Hey, Lupin?
I slowly shift my gaze to Lupin, who was looking out the window.
Thank you for saving me.
I think you mean kidnapping you? That was out of the blue. What's gotten into you?
I just had to tell you. If you hadn't stolen me away that day, I wouldn't be here right now.
I stole you because I wanted to. There's no need to thank me. Lupin grimaces and shakes his head, then goes back to looking out the window. Still looking away, he speaks quietly, as if a thought had just occurred to him. If you're lost or afraid, you don't have to do this.
What?
No one's going to blame you if you run away now. If anyone does, I'll shut them up and take you away with me. Lupin looks straight at me. If I agree to it right now, he will probably take me somewhere far away, like he did before. But I shake my head from side to side.
Thank you for looking out for me, Lupin. Even though we're not on your route. But it's fine. I've thought through this and made the decision on my own.
Now I understand what you mean.
Yeah, like it's setting him up to be a love interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is the only reason that Saint-Germain's was put right before Lupin's in the route order.
Yeah,
But,
which makes sense. I see. So you're sure? If things go wrong, you might never be able to feel the warmth of human contact.
It's fine. Saint-Germain showed me what it's like to touch another person. Even if he's also a dead body that's just walking around with a soul in it.
I look over at Lupin and smile.
Saint-Germain touched me. Despite my poison, he took my hand. He put my hand to his cheek and said it was warm.
And there was a slight burning sensation.
Yeah, it was a little warm. That's why I'm all right.
Oh, hi,
I'm
Ace
not afraid
Couple.
anymore. Hi, Ace Couple.
How are the Ace Couples acing? I see. He beat me to it. Lupin directs his gaze absent-mindedly at the train ceiling. I look at
This is why Saint-Germain's like, no one else can give you this.
him.
Not Lupin or anyone else. Lupin specifically or anyone else.
Screw Lupin! Stop it! You're getting in my turf.
This is my route. What are you doing? Approaching on my lady.
I look at him again.
Thank you for looking out for me, Lupin.
Hope your day's going well.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been dealing with Courtney's stalker today, so now you're on in the background while we're making motion. Oh my.
Oh my
That is a
gosh!
that's a series of words.
That is a big series of words. I hope both of y'all are okay.
I hope so. I was just hearing from another friend about a stalker situation that she was kind of involved with, but I think they've handled that one now.
Oh my gosh. You've been thanking me a lot lately.
Done so much for me. I really can't say it enough.
I see. He falls silent and continues watching the scenery go by outside the window. I open my mouth to speak once more, but hold back the words that I want to say. At the moment, feels like no words are necessary at all. We leave the train at the station closest to our destination, then continue on foot for a while. I am like... This is a lot for this last chapter.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, we played a game of League of Legends to decompress, and we absolutely carried our team, despite a player being AFK the whole time. So that felt good. Oof, yeah, that always feels good.
Nice.
I one of the most fun games of League that I remember playing. The company I wasn't playing with was great. I was playing with the douchebag. But I remember we were losing badly. And then me and the douchebag basically just snuck into the enemy base and won the game from underneath them. That felt nice.
Like, does anyone in the current chat know about the douchebag? Like, do you need to give context here?
No, I don't think anybody knows the douche. Well, obviously nobody knows the douchebag other than me.
Yes, I also don't know the douchebag for his benefit.
What role slash champions did you play? I was in what was his name? We don't know the
I'll be right
douchebag.
back. You give context on the douchebag. I'll be right back. I feel a little sick, but I'll be fine. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was a. I don't know if he's changed at all. I was an Ezreal man back in like 2014 ish. I wasn't necessarily good with Ezreal, but he's the one who felt the nicest to me and kind of just meshed with like like his skills made sense to me. There was a few other ones that I played. Did you play rank at all? I think I've played like a few games of ranked, but I wasn't. I was mostly just a non-ranked player. Like I said, this was back in 2013, 2014. I don't know if Ezreal has changed at all because I think the last one of the what was one of the last characters that came out? League of Legends champions. Let's see. This page is not. Yeah, I'm trying to think because I really only played with that group of friends, which the douchebag was part of. 2013 was pretty much the last time I played until I recently started picking up again. Yeah, I who are man? I'm looking through a list of some of these characters. I'm like, I've never seen some of these characters. Uh, Jinx. And Hooked Royson, yes! I mean, as long as both of you are having fun, that's all that's important. Nocturne, Horn, Poppy. Oh, man. Riven, Rumble. I think I also played Gangplank a bit. When I couldn't play as. Just because, like, Gangplank also felt, like, pretty nice. Oh, there's been changes to the jungle? Oof. Oof. I remember, I think I stopped. When did. When did you launch? I stopped a little bit after Yasuo came out, which seems to have been in December of 2013. So I would have stopped like early 2014. I'm like, can I even get into my old account? That would be interesting. That would be like a time capsule. But the douchebag. How can I even describe the douchebag? The douchebag was or is. I mean, I haven't talked to him in years, so I can't really say is. At least was. Um, a person I went to high school with. Um, and we got to talking because we were both in percussion and band together. And we were both probably one of the few gamers in the percussion group of band. Um, and so like we talked about like Final Fantasies and Pokemon and stuff like that. And so like I was friendly. I became friends with him. We were also in the same homeroom. I just didn't talk to him. I started a new account, didn't know how to log in, didn't care to figure it out because I also had a douchebag on friend list from back then. Oof. Um, but that friend, the douchebag, was very much a hardcore conservative. Uh, very much labeled himself on the as a libertarian. For those in U.S. politics, or those who know U.S. politics and know that phrase, libertarian, because I do know we have some non-U.S. people here. Um, and was very much like would I remember one point when he was working as customer service person, he had like a female coworker that he liked or something like that. And like I think the female coworker like said no to him or something like that, and I basically defended that, and he went on a rant about me being like trying to be a white knight and all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, she just like kind of she said no, like just get over it. Like you don't need to go on a rant. I like just no means no. I have a friend in high school whose parents served as president of our state's Libertarian Party. Oof. I remember talking to him right before the 2016 election, and he was trying to convince me that I didn't have to vote for Trump because I should vote for somebody like Rand Paul, who is a very far right conservative person. But I shouldn't be voting Democrat because they're evil and they will ruin the country. Um, it, a very aggressively white middle class male who made like the uh never having a girlfriend everybody else's problem type thing. He was not a very good person.
I've returned.
I have to go check something for my roommate.
Okay.
Sorry. I
We're
was
just exchanging roles.
uh
Have
hey, if you want to tell any more stories about the douchebag that you remember, feel free.
I well, I don't know what you've told.
I don't care. Say what you remember for all you care.
Um okay. Well, I have not actually met this douchebag person, but Sharky's told me various stories. Um I don't know what Sharky has mentioned so far, but the stories I heard were what was it? That women only belong in like what was it? Education, nursing, or elderly care, basically, I think it was. I don't remember what the actual words used were, but shit like that. And um yeah, yeah. I don't know what more there is for me to say after that. um Tell us about your douchebags to distract from ours. I'm like, what other things about the douchebag? I also have other douchebags that I've met in my life, but I don't know. Those are not the douchebag as referred to on the stream. Let's see. What else do I remember about the douchebag? Just various things like that, mostly. Or the like hyper, like, men should always want sex aloe bullshit attitudes, all that toxic shit. Um, which for extra context, I think Sharky called this friend the douchebag, like, since the first time he ever described him to me. So this isn't even like, oh, I called him the douchebag. Um, Sharky called him the douchebag while they were like still friends. Well, quote unquote friends. Um, yeah, what else? I don't know. I just remember he had just what sounded like really, really toxic attitudes. Like if there was a toxic, problematic, um, bigoted opinion, he held it, it seemed. So yeah. And I think Shaki was recently saying that this guy has gotten married again now.
Oh wait, what?
Um,
Talking about his marriage? Uh,
yeah.
and the fact that his wife left him after he said, "Well, if you don't like it, there's the door."
See, I'm like, how many of these stories do I even remember? I kind of don't actually spend that much time thinking about him unless he like comes up from something you've mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Where I just randomly went on Facebook for like the first time in days. It's like, oh, I guess he's married again.
I was saying such things as his toxic attitudes about like what kinds of work that a woman should be allowed to do or something. Which I think the greatest irony really is. He's like, "Oh, women should only allowed to be like basically caretakers or teachers." And I'm like, "But he's a teacher."
But he's a history teacher. Yeah. I think his new wife's also a teacher.
He's also like precisely the kind of person I don't want teaching history.
Yeah, basically. That sounds about right. Sorry, my roommate's at the store and needed me to check some stuff.
It's okay. I wandered off for however long because I had a stomach ache.
I mean, yeah. Are you ready to get back started?
Back to started.
Back to started?
Yes. Sure.
I was like, how much longer is this chapter?
Um, we haven't even met back up with Saint-Germain
No, we
yet.
haven't. Which is the terrifying part. We leave the train at the station closest to our destination, then continue on foot for a while. By the time we enter the area described as the Forest of Fog on Father's note, it is almost dusk. Oh man, a new art asset!
Oh man. So this is where idea?
Yes, this is where idea.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Reddish light shines through the tree branches and leaves, somehow making everything look eerie. None of us have spoken since we entered the forest. Even Impy, who's always going on about something, has been very quiet today. Everyone is probably nervous, thinking about what's to come. ... I hope people enjoyed stories about a terrible person I know. I don't know how long we walk. As the forest's name suggests, a dense fog begins to surround us. As the sky grows darker, the fog grows thicker. Soon, there's so much fog around us that I can't see anything. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's up with this fog? Stay close, everyone. We call out to each other as we cautiously move forward. Then, the fog suddenly clears, and the forest's atmosphere shifts dramatically. Idea's Forest, a vast forest believed to be the home of the mysterious Idea organization. Strange phenomena appear in it, such as sudden dense fog or eerie glows at night. I gasp at the scene that suddenly appears before me. Did the sun completely set while we were walking through that fog? It's completely dark now. The trees stand tall, blocking any light from coming through. I'm still able to barely make out my surroundings, perhaps because some faintly luminous bubble-like things float nearby?
It's like we're deep underwater.
Yes, captioner, that is totally what was said.
They occur to ponder water.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
I turn around to see if anyone else agrees with me. However, Lupin and the others are nowhere to be seen. There's just an endless row of trees. The people who... Gosh dang it, Ace Couple.
Oh, how's Cookie Clicker going?
Whoa. Cookie Clicker is clicking cookies.
I like how you stopped mid-line to groan at that.
Because there's apparently a story that I need to hear. The people who had been there a moment ago suddenly disappeared. And this scene in the forest has a dreamlike quality. As Cookie Clicker does. I've reached 1,000,000,000,000 total cookies?
How much longer did you play yesterday?
Probably like half an hour. And then I've had it up while I've been doing things today.
Mm,
Because it doesn't generate when it's offline, it only generates when it's running.
well, yeah.
I think there's an upgrade you can get that generates when it's offline, but it's kind of just like, yep, it's been running. Have
I
your
see.
cookies achieved sentience yet? No?
Why not?
Um, we both Cookie Clicker stream. Oh. What, just have like a little picture-in-picture?
Mhm.
I felt this.
Yeah, in the corner of this, while we're doing this stream, we actually just have like a little Cookie Clicker window in the
Yeah, just
corner.
at the top left, we just put a little Cookie Clicker.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no, it can't be at the top left. That's where our follower alerts
Oh,
are.
okay. See, but then it would have to be at the bottom left.
All right, well.
Because you can't be at the top right because that covers my picture. It can't be at the bottom right because it covers chat.
Yeah.
The fans demand it! Who says I'm not playing Cookie Clicker right now?
You literally just said that you've been having it up while
Yeah,
doing
I
other
know.
things. I assume that includes right now, actually.
Yeah, I have about 500 billion cookies in my bank. It's fine. I need more cookies. Oh, and I got my 7th grandma.
7th grandma type.
Yeah. Oh, I figured out how to dunk the cookie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you minimize the screen. Like, you shrink it.
Ah.
Like, you
Once
shrink.
you start clicking cookies, you cannot stop clicking cookies. Cookie Clicker is eternal.
Yeah, 580 achievements.
You're like, I kind of want to play this as a joke, and then our friend bought it for you
Yeah,
on the spot.
on Steam. It's like $5 on Steam, and I'm like, I kind of want to joke play this. Okay, well, I'm buying it for you.
That's what that friend does a
That
lot,
that is
thankfully.
what that friend does. So now I have Cookie Clicker on Steam. Because,
As opposed to on browser where most of us played.
well, you can actually, if you still have your save file for Cookie Clicker, you can export it and import it into the Steam
I
version.
absolutely do not.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, like, that is a thing that
That's
can be
funny.
done.
That's funny. No, I absolutely do not have that.
Yeah, I understand that. Welcome to the Cookie Clicker cult. Yeah, for everybody else, I had never played Cookie Clicker before. Like, I knew it existed, and I've seen the window before, but I've never played.
Terrible, because it became a big thing
It became a
while I
huge
was in
thing.
college.
Oh,
So I was just sitting in all my classes, like click, click,
oh,
click, click, click.
really? I don't. Huh. Wait, when did it come out? Let me see.
I don't know if that's when it came out, but
Oh
that's
my gosh, it
when it was
came
popular,
out.
as far as I know.
It came out right before I started college. Like
Yeah.
a few months before I started college.
Yeah.
That is terrifying to think about.
Yeah. So I was sitting in classes
Because
going
that's
click,
all
click,
that's
click,
all
click, click, click.
been almost 10 years.
Don't remind me about that. You
Uh
know, that does remind me that somewhat recently I was like listening to this other podcast thing.
yeah.
Kind of fell asleep
Oh,
partway.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But um where they were talking about like non-binary stuff, and someone was like, as an elder queer in my mid-30s, and I was just reminded of Courtney. Like, yes, we elder queers, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Uh
In my mid 30s.
as an elder queer in my mid-30s, like I don't I don't think the word elder means what you think it means.
Such elderly.
Very elderly. So very, very elder. Mm-hmm.
Yes, very elder.
Totally.
Yeah.
So old at the ripe old age of 30 something. Oh no.
well,
Elder queers in their 30s.
well, according to that one person who said it to Courtney, I'm an like ace in my not
We've
even
evolved from
30s.
playing Cookie Clicker a decade ago to being the grandmas inside of Cookie Clicker. That's the mood. Oh, that's the mood. That's the pain.
that is a huge pain. Yep. That's life. We are now just grandmas making cookies. There's only about 130 of them in my game.
Get more.
Well, I mean, I can buy some more. But I'm trying to get more wizard towers.
So that you can get more Abigails?
Ace couple cookie clicker grandmas. New
New bio.
bio. Yes.
Now what?
I still need to hear whatever the story is about Cookie Clicker, though.
Sharky was telling me that, and I was just like, is there anything you don't have a story for? Like, you have stories for everything, it seems.
For literally everything. It's kind of terrifying.
Kind of.
Yeah. Are you saying it is terrifying?
Yeah, just
Oh,
straight up terrifying.
wow. Calling Courtney out like that.
Yeah.
You know, you really shouldn't call Courtney out like that.
Why not?
Yes.
I call you out like that too.
Someday, you'll say something that I don't have a story related for. Probably. Hashtag
Someday.
justice for Courtney! Hashtag justice for Courtney! I felt this
I've
before.
committed an injustice.
Yes.
Oh well. Could it be Omnibus? No, actually, it's some random other character that we haven't met until now, I see.
Ah! Super Bus!
Alpha Bus.
Alpha Bus! Omega Bus! As if in answer to my question, a glowing butterfly flutters my way. After circling me twice, the butterfly slowly flies ahead into the forest.
Are you telling me to follow you?
I know all too well how dangerous it can be to act on my own, but I can't see any of my friends, no matter how hard I look around me. If this is Omnibus is doing, waiting here won't do me any good.
I guess I don't have a choice.
I mark a spot on a tree next to me, just in case, then cautiously start walking through the forest after the butterfly. I don't know how long I've been walking, but I see a bright, sunny spot up ahead.
What is that?
It's a giant cookie.
Are cookies sunny spots?
It depends on who you ask.
Are the sunspots the chocolate chips?
Yes. I'm glad you understand.
Uh-huh.
Everything around me indicates that it's nightfall. Yet, just that one spot is lit brightly. Bleh, bleh, bleh.
Yep.
I look around cautiously as I follow along the butterfly guiding my path. I timidly step into the spot of sunlight. There's sunny spots in my day. A sudden gust of wind stirs the air around me. Then everything changes because the Fire Nation attacked. I don't know what you expected from me.
That yeah, that is what I expected from you, actually.
I'm glad.
And you say you don't know memes.
Sorry, I'm referencing a TV show.
Yeah, a lot of memes are references. Why do you think that makes it not count?
uh. Also, isn't that meme like again like many years old?
Yeah, and
Just like the rest of the ones I know. The next thing I know, I'm standing in front of a wooden house. The yard is filled with flowers. Everything looks like it's in peaceful daylight, making me almost doubt that I was ever in a forest at night.
is this Idea's headquarters?
Oh, we tried to make you guys a meme once and post it on Twitter, but we had to delete it because people started attacking us for it. Wait, what? Wait, what?
What? I I feel like we missed something here. Hold on.
Wait,
Would,
what?
would you like to explain?
Yeah, I think I
Probably still have it on Discord. Have it and can send it to you on Discord. I don't know if you remember the reference. I
please send it to us on Discord. One, because oh, thank you. And two, people attacked you for it? That's not okay. They can just words I don't use.
They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, that words. Thank you for filling in my sentence.
Uh-huh. As I do.
As you do.
That's actually my whole entire job on this stream. Is to cuss people out when Sharky won't. My whole entire job.
Well, thank you.
Very important job.
It is a very important job. Like, super duper important. You should believe in yourself and your job. This seems far too peaceful.
Somehow, very out of context meme that we tagged you on Twitter became the ace couple hates people with Down syndrome. Like, what?
Wait, no,
Wait,
stop,
stop.
delete!
Wait.
People with Down
Uh,
syndrome. I'm like, wait, what is this?
I don't know. I don't know, and I'm scared to find out.
It doesn't seem like the place where an organization that has been controlling history would be located at all.
I feel like every time you guys get accused of ableism, it feels a little bit to me like when people attack Black people for being racist.
Mm.
And I'm just like, are you guy is just mad that there's an advocate for disability. 'Cause that's what it feels like.
Yeah, because why would DA about you about fit bees and fish? Mm, wait,
So again, it just feels kind of like
wait. This is relevant to
people.
something, but I forget the context. Save the bees, and then there's a fish.
Oh,
What
you
is
know what? I think it was when we were informed that bees are classified as fish.
Yes, yes, it is. And and I remember, yes, because I was looking up that, and they were classified as fish because of some law.
Conservation things.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yep, I
How is
remember it.
how is how 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 does that very funny out of context meme in our community for us become hate people with Down syndrome?
Because people will make excuses to hate them, it
That
seems.
wasn't that long ago.
Not terribly long ago, no.
That was like a month and a half ago, maybe two.
Um,
It wasn't like it was this summer.
yeah. I think maybe I don't know exactly. Time's a blur.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like when when you mentioned that, I'm like, yes, no, I distinctly remember this. This was like recent.
Yeah.
Some people really hate us for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, for
crying.
bad reasons,
Yeah,
rather.
for very bad
For
reasons.
very stupid reasons.
I'm just crying for you.
I don't
I'm
know.
not,
It really reads like people who yell about, like, oh, black people are the real racists or something. That's what it feels like
and
to
this
me.
happens basically every time we just make a silly nonsense post, so we're not allowed to have fun on Twitter anymore.
I'm
Uh,
sorry.
huh. And then there's me being like, I don't think I'm going to help with the ace Christian community.
Probably not.
I'm not going to help with their view of you guys.
But you will help some other people in the process, I think.
Cuz I
So,
mean,
you should still do it.
those groups are seemingly are already attacking. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, me being on the podcast ain't going to help with that. Now, it'd be great. Hmm.
I think, like, will you get attacked for it? Maybe. Is it still worthwhile because it's gonna
Oh
help
yeah,
other people? Yeah.
I'm not saying that in a sense of no, I'm not going to do it. I'm saying in the sense
I
of
know.
oh, yeah, it probably won't help.
I had a couple Christian Ace friends who are totally in line with you.
Yeah.
See?
Did I just hear a dog bark? Okay, that dog's adorable. Can I have five? Look at it!
I mean, it's a good dog.
And look at the top hat of Doggo.
Doggo top hat.
It's not a
Yeah.
smile hat. I
But
mean,
it could be.
it no, because you can see the link between the glasses on the hat, and it's not in a smile.
No, I mean, like, but if you had a dog like that,
Oh yeah, no,
you
total.
could put
Oh,
a smiley hat.
totally would have Deli smiley hat. Also has a monocle. Like this doggo is such a good doggo. 11 out of 10. What is that Twitter? Rate the is it? There's a Twitter about rating dogs.
She rates dogs or something?
No, not raises, rates.
Yeah, I said rates.
Oh, okay.
However,
Captures.
the one I'm referring to, I think, is slightly different.
Oh, what? Just like my show got skin in League of Legends. Oh my gosh. I turn around and see a dog. It's far larger than Cece, almost as tall as me. That's a big dog.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
AC, stop stealing my lines.
You're such a big dog. Where did you come from?
The dog runs up to me and lowers its head, as if trying to scare me away. It begins shoving its head against my hip, pushing at me.
Huh? Whoa!
The dog continues to push me towards the house, and I arrive at a terrace at one corner of the building. After nudging me to this place, where a cool breeze blows, the dog runs off, looking satisfied.
This is...
I hear the sound of something creaking. How long has she been here? A woman is right in front of me, smiling kindly.
Well, thank you for coming to such a remote place. I'm sure you're tired from walking. How about some tea?
As if she was expecting my arrival. A tea setting is laid out on a table in the veranda, giving off comfortable steam. Don't care.
Omnibus.
Though I'm momentarily frightened, I glare at her. Saint-Germain's life lies in her hands, and she's the very person who wants me killed.
And she's inviting you to tea.
I mean, don't you do that with people you want to kill?
Maybe.
No matter how tranquil she may be making things seem, I can't let my guard down.
Lilith, thank you for bringing her here.
She speaks to the dog from before. Lilith, the dog, barks once in response.
Lilith, a large dog kept as a pet in Omnibus's mansion. An extremely intelligent animal, he acts as if he understands human speech. I have some important matters to discuss with her now. Lilith, why don't you go back inside?
Lilith hurriedly leaves us, following Omnibus's quiet instructions. As I stand there, dumbfounded, Omnibus turns back to me and smiles.
I didn't think you'd be visiting me here. Aha! You have some capable friends. Thanks. Where are they, anyway? I'm assuming it's your doing that I've been separated from the rest of them. Yes, you're right. I'm going to have them wander the forest for a little while longer.
Pulling a god in the deserts.
We've briefly popped into so many streams of this game, but we must admit, we have no idea what this game is about.
Okay, let's put down the controller for a second and let's talk.
Recap.
We are playing as, in our case, the character's name is AC.
Let me first pull up the official description.
You can gladly say at any point, can you explain? And we will gladly put down the controller and explain.
Okay. So officially on the Nintendo Store, the description is, venture into a reimagined steampunk version of 19th century London. Follow the adventures of poison-skinned maiden Cardia, the men trying to help her, and the mysterious organization intent on capturing her. Experience a visual novel adventure brimming with literary and historical characters, including Victor Frankenstein and Abraham Van Helsing. Will Cardia find love or destroy those she cares for? Her story is in your hands.
That's so dramatic.
It is accurate.
It is. It is very accurate. It's just very dramatic.
It's a little funny.
So instead of Cardia, we named the character AC.
Yep.
we got kidnapped by Arsène Lupin, and his good friend Impy Barbicane.
Help, explain. Okay, so first off is AC, as it says, is Poisoned Skin Maiden, which is to say that anything that she touches with her bare skin dissolves horribly as if by
Poison.
acid. Poison.
She has
like
special
in
she has special clothing and stuff to not make her poison everything she's like.
yeah, so she has special clothes that had to be created with like a special solution so that she's not dissolving all her clothes off and stuff,
And the ground.
also like gloves so that she can like touch things. When she eats, the food just dissolves in her mouth, but she gets a vague sense of the taste and stuff. Anyway, so that's a quick summary of AC's powers. And so the British government is she was living alone in this house, all like curled up
In Wales.
for like 2 years in Wales. The British government comes in like, we're gonna take you now. And she's like, what? And and everyone calls her a monster because of this poison. And then Lupin swoops in and he's like, haha, I am stealing the monster from you guys. But then he's like, oh, you're a cute girl. I will grant you one wish or something. She's like, I wish to be able to touch people. Anyway, so Lupin's trying to stop some kind of terrorist plot in London that he's heard about. And Impy is also there. He's actually looking for a thing that got stolen from him. And he happens to be a vampire, and there was a whole vampire war in which the British government basically committed genocide against all the vampires.
His aspiration is to go to the moon.
Yes. His trauma is that his entire vampire village was wiped out by chemical weapons. And then we also meet Victor Frankenstein, who in this case is not the creator of a living Frankenstein monster thing, but does feel a lot of guilt and also trauma over his role helping the British government with like scientific developments during this war, which kind of enables that extremely poisonous gas stuff that was used against Impy's village. We also have Van Helsing, a war hero from the Vampire War, who was manipulated into massacring the entire like vampire sort of capital almost. Not exactly capital, but anyway, he'd been living with the vampire king and stuff for a while, and they'd welcomed him warmly and everything, and he was like, actually, we don't need to go to war, there's no reason to. And they're like, we're gonna kill your family unless you do this. And he's like, well, fuck, I guess I'm doing this. And then he came back and his family was murdered anyway. And then we're on the route right now for the Count Saint-Germain, who is part of this shadowy secret organization named IDEA, which is led by Omnibus here. And they are the guides of history. And by the way, I guess he's actually accidentally responsible for the bubonic plague getting out because he didn't kill every single person in this village, because he killed everyone except this one child that was really cute and like sweet and that he'd helped and he'd like started befriending. And then he was like, oh no, I don't want to kill the child. And the child got away. And then the entire Europe got hit by the Black Plague. Anyway, so you're trying to find AC's dad, who seems mysteriously connected to like all of these different things and he was a renowned inventor and also chemist and everything else to do with science.
Renowned
Person.
scientist in every degree.
Yeah, in every single field, including alchemy. Oh yes, in this, Victor Frankenstein is also an alchemist, actually. Um, and yeah, you've been trying to find her dad.
There's also a government
Or
organization called Twilight.
yes, that's the other shadowy secret organization. They're basically like the CIA but more secret.
And they're
And
run
they
by your
are,
brother.
yes, in connection with your dad.
Yeah.
Also, your brother seems to kind of fucking hate you.
And can come
And oh
back from
yeah,
the
by the
dead.
way, we found out that now AC's actually homunculus, um, designed to like basically hold this thing called a horologium, which is a bunch of gems on her chest, it looks like. And she has a pendant now that threatens to turn her into the Philosopher's Stone, in which case her poison will become dramatically much more powerful and then really will cause a world calamity. And I'm waiting for the, this is a dating sim? But yeah.
I think that, yeah, that's about everything that we've know so far.
Oh, and Saint-Germain was tasked with killing her, but he is once again like, wait, shit, you're someone I don't want to kill, and is really struggling with it. And then Omnibus is like, well, let's make this easy on him. You go meet him at this time, and oh, and he's immortal, by the way. He's immortal. He's been alive for thousands of years. And Omnibus was like, go meet him at this bridge so he can kill you. And then he'll be cleared of all of his doubts. And then I'm sure he'll never question me again. But they're just his last hurdle, so he's got to do it. And you show up and you're like, nope, I've decided. Please kill me. I was never alive. I'm just a doll. And he's then has like a breakdown and yells at you for that because he has feelings and he hasn't had those in centuries. So he's like, nope, can't do it. Time to kill the entire organization that I've been an assassin for thousands of years instead.
Hey, thanks, bye.
Yeah, okay, thanks, bye. And she's like, wait, no, not bye. And he's like, hey, thanks, bye. And stabs you in the neck with a needle that knocks you out for the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or not knocks you out.
Well,
but, like,
and he also
you.
killed your brother and your father.
Yes. Well, you were also supposed to die among that.
Yeah.
As part of the assignment here.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to save the world in some way, but we don't really know all of those plans because all of that will be revealed probably mostly in the true route, which is the Lupin route, but we're not there yet. This is our third route.
3 out of 5.
Yes.
Well, that clears everything up. No questions.
Just want to know if that lady's necklace is made of hair.
It could be.
We don't technically know that it's not. I've invited you, and only you. No one else.
Finding out that the others are all right causes me to discreetly sigh in relief. But there's no time for me to play along with her. Even as we speak, Saint-Germain is growing closer and closer to death.
There is one thing I'd like to ask. What's happening to Saint-Germain right now? Saint-Germain?
She swirls the tea in her cup, then looks down at the amber liquid.
He has been defeating all the apostles that I send his way. And now he is fighting Guinevere. Guinevere? Oh yes, Guinevere, of the Arthurian legend, is also an apostle of this group called Idea.
Yup.
Yes. I don't know how many days they've been at it. A battle between immortals can take a while, but this is especially long.
They keep killing each other, but they just won't die!
I suppose it goes to show that their skills truly rival one another's.
I know firsthand how terrifying Guinevere is. Saint-Germain has been fighting such a terrible enemy for days on end. Just imagining what must be transpiring makes my chest ache.
Oh, and the Horologium seems to power her because she doesn't actually have a heartbeat or anything.
Oh yeah, so like if we lose the Horologium, like we're dead.
Yep.
Well,
And it's kind of highly unstable in some ways because, like,
if it
like
gets
the first route we played,
if it gets
someone like
chipped.
took a chip off, and yeah, she was like dying.
But the poison went away for a little bit.
It came in and out, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, their fight will be over soon.
Well, it's not going to be stable until it's a Philosopher's Stone.
Saint-Germain's immortality has been reduced to a remnant of what he had before. If he continues to die at this rate, his life force will eventually expire. And there's no time. I'm going to cut to the chase.
I grip my fist tightly. I look straight into Omnibus's eyes, which have a strange glow about them.
Omnibus, please. Help Saint-Germain. I'd like you to give back the immortality that you took from him. Wouldn't that be nice?
She takes a sip from her tea with a troubled expression. She slowly pieces her words together as if scolding a stubborn grandchild.
He is a traitor who abandoned his mission and killed 4 of his fellow apostles. There is no reason at all for me to extend his vitality.
Well, at least he hasn't gotten all of them yet.
Yet. ...
Her reaction is as I'd expected. From the perspective of Idea, Saint-Germain turned his back on them. There's no way she would listen to a direct request like this.
Besides, don't you think you should be worrying about your own life? Just like Saint-Germain, you are destined to die. That's the only way humanity can be led down the correct path. The correct path?
I look up at Omnibus and glare at her after hearing her one-sided argument. I feel my voice taking a harsher tone, but I have no intent of softening it.
Only people in the future will know what the correct path is. What you're talking about isn't what's correct for the sake of the world. It's just what you yourself think is correct. I only wish that were the case.
Omnibus sighs in response to my threatening tone.
I doubt you would understand. Long ago, I ate of a forbidden fruit that was not allowed to humans.
At the beginning of the stream, I'm like, I am seriously hoping that they did not do what I think they did.
I kept being like, who do you think it is? Who do you think it is?
I didn't think that they would go down that path. I honestly didn't think that they would make the leader literally Eve.
Like she's wearing the apple.
Yes! That's why when I saw that, I'm like, the apple's gotta be important. But in my head, I'm like, but they wouldn't have done that. Trying not to have Christian rants.
Doing so gave me a piece of God's knowledge.
And it's literally a scale because it's the knowledge of good and evil. Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Ever since then, I have been able to see all the paths that humanity can take. I can't help but see them.
She quietly continues her story. There is no doubt in her eyes, and her voice is matter of fact, speaking only the truth.
I know better than anyone else that humans are capable of so easily taking the wrong path. Because I can see it all. I can't just stand by and do nothing. So you're saying that's why you created Idea?
And you kind of also let it slip a little bit with the Tower of Babel comment.
Mm. Well, that was entirely separate, though.
Yeah, but like...
I mean, this has... I guess this is the most blatantly like, hey, by the way, this organization is Christian. But they've been saying apostles, they've been...
They've
Like,
literally...
Saint-Germain is literally the religious one.
But they've
So,
also literally said, like, no, we need to be, like... we're putting our path, like, directly for God, and, like...
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they have been blatantly, like...
This has been blatantly like, by the way, this is Christianity. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, an organization that will lead us forward until the day God saves all of us who are burdened with original sin. That is Idea. That is the idea. Yes. Dot.
She smiles slightly, seeing that I'm at a loss for words.
I see. You were created as part of a very big plan. We have put an end to Isaac's plan before it could come to fruition. But your very existence is already within the realms of the taboo. Because I will cause destruction. Is that why you want me to die? Along with Saint-Germain? It's up to you whether you resist or not.
Her response to my desperate question is far from what I would have expected. I look up in surprise, but Omnibus is just staring at me silently.
Just remember this, Sacy. In the past, Saint-Germain once placed personal attachment above his mission and disobeyed my orders. Because of his indiscretion, a third of Europe's population perished. Just imagine, 1 in every 3 people dead.
In Europe. Not in the world, in Europe.
Mm-hmm. For example, Lupin, Van Helsing, Victor, and Impy. What would you say if you knew that one of them was certain to die? Dot.
Her words wrap around me, like some sort of spell. Although she said that I have the choice of resisting, this is no different from a threat.
Saint-Germain is about to repeat his foolish mistake. You're just as culpable if you are still trying to live after knowing all of this, aren't you?
My knees grow weak as Omnibus fixes her eyes on me.
I
lurch forward and fall to my knees, hitting the ground with my hands. The earth in my hands remind me of a sensation I felt before. That horrible sensation of the poison in these hands burning away at his life. But under that terrible feeling, I also felt a warmth coming from his skin. And,
You aren't alive, then neither am I. If your life isn't worth anything, then neither is mine. So, please, Don't say such sad things.
The feeling of his face as he said that.
Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot.
I steady my trembling legs, then stand up and glare at the old woman.
Hill, I'm going to reject your predictions. Nothing is certain in this world. I won't believe your prophecy of destruction. Dot, dot, dot. I see. That's quite brave of you. Brave, but foolish. I don't care if I'm foolish. But I'll have you help Saint-Germain no matter what it takes. Scary. There is no use threatening me. What you see before you is merely an illusion of myself. You're wrong. There is one way.
I put my hands to my chest and take a step closer to Omnibus.
The reason you want me dead is because there's a chance I might create something God's forbidden. The Philosopher's Stone.
I see
By
it,
the way,
thank
just
you.
sent Sharky a calendar link.
I messaged them today first, so you can stop nagging me, Satan!
Good. It only took you like almost a week. Saint should sign up for one too, because why not?
Yeah, talk about weird dating sims.
In which all of our love interests are horribly traumatized? Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that.
Oh, I literally didn't hear you.
Yeah, because you were looking at the calendar link.
No, I was like, wait, who messaged me? And I picked up my phone and saw Ace Couple, sent link. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you were looking at the calendar link.
Well, I didn't look at the link. I looked at the notification on my phone.
That had a link.
Well, it didn't show a link.
Yes, that's right. The Philosopher's Stone is a forbidden object that treads on the laws of God. I must eradicate any and all possibilities that may lead to its creation. Protect the people of the world.
Ah, to protect the world from devastation. To unite all people within the nation.
Continue.
Nope.
I see. And I suppose I'm a hazard to you. Something you fear. What are you thinking?
I take a small case out of my pocket. It contains the pendant from Finis. Finis is your brother.
Yes. The one who leads the CIA-like organization.
Well, in this case, lead.
Lead.
The pendant sparkles
Lead,
under
past
the
tense,
light.
he's dead now. That's...
For the first time, Omnibus looks surprised. Seeing her so obviously shaken, I speak to her with conviction.
With the touch of this pendant, my horologium will be transformed into the Philosopher's Stone. And if the stone is created, I will become a monster who spreads death. Once I become that, no one can stop me. Not even your organization with all your unlimited powers. That's why you're so desperate to kill me. Am I wrong? You want to avoid that.
Take a good look at Omnibus, then quietly, but forcefully, speak.
I want you to accept my conditions. Let Saint-Germain live.
I know full well that what I'm suggesting right now is a horrible thing. This is a threat under the guise of a negotiation. But instead of bending to that threat,
Ha! What's so funny? That isn't really a threat.
she returns my gaze levelly, still smiling.
You understand why, don't you? If you become a true monster, you will kill everything around you and be hated by everyone. You'll only be able to live in absolute isolation. That is something you truly fear. No matter how strong you make yourself sound, you'll never be able to act upon it.
My hand holding the pendant starts shaking at Omnibus's words. I thought I had made up my mind to be willing to give my life going into this, and yet I've begun to tremble.
You won't be able to become a monster. You want to repeat the tragedy of Elaine and Eddie.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, you want to give the
Wrap her-
explanation of that one?
Oh my gosh! I'm starting to cry all over again.
You want to explain that one for the ace couple?
I don't even remember most of it.
But you're like, I'm gonna cry again.
Well, so the parts that I remember is we left home, and then we started getting chased by a village because we're a monster. And
because we lost our boot, and then grass and stuff was starting to dissolve around us.
And the
the
village
local priest,
were blaming us for basically
everything bad.
Yeah.
Oh, bad crop harvest and everything.
Malik,
like,
oh!
she's bad luck, blah blah blah.
Malik, oh, she did not.
And then Elaine
hit us. Basically took us to
not just hid, but like took us in and took care of us and treated us as like her own daughter. Eddie is Elaine's actual daughter. We've heard her crocodile tears, but Sharky tears?
But then eventually the pastor in the town found out about this, and Elaine was like, no, she's not a monster. And the pastor was like, well, here's what we'll do. We'll lock you and the monster up in a cave for a week, was it?
I think it was 2 weeks, maybe?
And basically, it's going to be airtight, and if you survive, well, we won't do anything, but if you die, we'll kill the monster.
Or if you die, that proves she's a monster, because she's the devil, blah, blah, blah.
And so they lock you in a cave, and part of the whole thing about the poison is it's not just everything you touch, it kind of also just...
It's in the air you breathe.
The air starts being poison, because it starts like...
It builds up in the air.
And so because they're locked in a cave that's basically airtight, it got so poisonous in there that...
Elaine tries to just keep talking and stuff, but she's clearly like becoming weak. But AC didn't realize this right away. And so gradually she's trying to like melt a hole through the rock that's blocked them in so that she can call for help or, you know, let some of the air out and stuff. But she manages to break a hole open just a little bit too late, and Elaine is already dead.
And Eddie blames you.
It should have been you who died back there instead of Mama.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was a rough stream.
Everyone here is traumatized.
And
everyone here is traumatized.
And then basically after that, AC went back to the mansion and sat in a room alone and was like, I'm never leaving again. I'm a monster. I never...
basically didn't leave again until Lupin took her.
And I'm
or
like,
well, until the military took her and then Lupin took her.
I'm never gonna be loved. No one like...
Oh, and her dad also left her a note that's like, my precious daughter, you must never know love because you are a monster.
Yeah.
So she's really internalized this.
And so Omnibus is literally... Oh.
Bringing up her past trauma.
The mention of those names, my skin breaks out in goosebumps. I don't even have room in my mind to wonder how Omnibus even knows those names. My memories of the past, when I was accused of being a monster, burn in my heart. But
Yes, the trauma will pair nicely with our mochi. This is a really, really good game. And I feel like half the reason I like it is because...
It's 95% trauma?
That, and 5%, well, no one can try to be like, ooh, all the physical affection stuff with AC, because they just literally can't.
They literally can't.
So I'm like, all right, all of the romance and none of the touchy hitting on. Great.
Yeah.
And also all of the trauma. Who needs sexual tension when you could just have trauma instead? Still,
The words escape from my mouth, and I hold the pendant closer to the horologium.
Traumatized ace icon. Yup.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just bringing it slightly nearer causes the crystal in my chest to grow hotter, and the pendant begins to shine.
You're serious? I don't care if people hate me for being a monster. I don't care if I truly to become a monster. I don't care if the entire world is against me.
The heat of the horologium is almost unbearable. The pain is extreme. Like being skinned alive. Like every bone in my body is breaking. Like my entire body is being rearranged. I struggle to stay on my feet and look at Omnibus, speaking through gritted teeth.
You won't help Saint-Germain. I'll become a monster and lead the world to destruction. But if you save Saint-Germain, I'll shatter this horologium in my chest myself.
Ooh!
Then you'll get what you want. Isn't that right, Omnibus? You'll shatter the horologium. That will mean your death. Saint-Germain will survive. It's one of those romances of like, these two dumbasses keep trying to sacrifice their own lives for the other, and then the other is like, but I won't be happy if you're not there. I'll sacrifice myself for you!
But I won't be happy if you're not there!
I'm gonna sacrifice my life for you!
These two idiots.
Favorite ship dynamics?
Yeah, basically.
Why would you go so far?
She looks at me, shocked, and I turn to her with a gentle smile.
Saint-Germain said that my hands were warm. Just for something small like that, you're going to give your life? It's not something small. At least, not to me.
I look down at my fists and slowly narrow my eyes.
When I first woke up, I was all by myself. All I had were my father's words and this poison-filled body. I didn't think I would ever get the chance to touch someone else. And even though Lupin promised me that he would help me do that, I didn't really believe him. But he...
I touched my cheek with my own hand.
Saint-Germain touched my hand without hesitation.
Just as Saint-Germain did.
He was the only person in the world who accepted me, despite me being the monster that I am. That's why, even if I end up becoming a monster in seclusion, I can withstand the isolation just by thinking of the memory of that one warm touch. Don't underestimate me, Omnibus.
I glare at her as I stand my ground against the excruciating pain. This is my limit. I can hear something in my body beginning to change. Just as I'm thinking this, she sighs deeply.
I accept your offer, AC. First, take that pendant away. Do it quickly, or it really will be too late.
I listen to her and snap the pendant away from myself. Suddenly I feel weak. I breathe heavily, refusing to fall, and lean against the table.
I really can't give Saint-Germain that easily. But I see that you are truly serious. So I have one condition. What is it? Defeat Guinevere. Then I will extend Saint-Germain's life. We need to beat Guinevere? That's correct. Right. If my predictions are correct, there is no way that you and Saint-Germain will be able to best her. You claim that my prophecy of disaster won't turn out true. Then prove it to me. Prove to me that my predictions are fallible. Saint-Germain betrayed Idea and killed 4 apostles. I can't allow that to go without a condition. That condition will be that you destroy the horologium on your own. That is non-negotiable. This is as far as I can go to compromise. What do you say, AC?
She shuts her mouth firmly and looks at me intently.
Save and end for the day.
That I was actually just about to say save and cliffhanger for next time.
Yep.
Where I assume this is where it branches between normal and good.
Yeah.
So you'll just have to come back next Sunday to see what happens.
Yeah. Or get the game yourself. Play through the entire thing in the next week. Or really just his route. Which isn't that well. But then you won't be able to have skip with all the stuff that we were just describing because you wouldn't have seen it before. So that's how they get you.
It's doable. It is doable, but
it is very doable. I mean, it's just one route.
Yeah. But thank you all for watching and stopping by. I hope you had a fun time.
A fun, traumatized time.
And we will be back on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a good rest of your day.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.